So what is going on, guys? This is basically just going to be a really quick video. I'm not going to show my face. I'm not going to do this live. I am smoking. I got some work being done to my little playhouse that I have. So I just want to make this really quick video. It's just basically going to be me talking. So if you're not into that kind of videos, you don't have to watch this. I don't need to hear this is boring or whatever. I am answering questions that people have been asking me that I wasn't able to answer on my live. So, with that being said, the woods and the history that I have learned from that place stems from it has always been an African American site. Since I want to say the 60s or 70s. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm just going off what I've heard from people. Now, this place would have been habited by Native Americans. It would have been habited. I know for a fact Sherman's March went through there. So there's really no telling what the history of this place is, but there are bodies buried out there. There are bodies as you go past where the tents and everything are. There are bodies, and there's bodies of unknown people all through there. It's not an active cemetery. Now, a couple of years ago, we were hired to go to that place. Just basically what we would do is we would patrol it at night, and the police would kind of patrol it during the day to we were just basically keeping riffraffs. Now, what they were trying to do was Kelly Tours actually, I believe, now don't hold me to this, I'm going off what I've heard from people in the city. They were going to buy that and basically just move it over, make more room for their buses and things like that. Now, from what I've been told from the police department, one of the biggest issues that they had was they didn't know where the unknown graves were, and they really did not want to disturb those. They were not going to permit them to allow them to disturb the graves. So I guess it started getting really expensive. After a while, we didn't need to patrol it. We pretty much cleared it out, got the homeless people out of there. Now, there was a homeless guy that touched base with, I want to say many months ago, he had made contact. Now, I have a police officer friend that works in the county police. I will give him a call, tell him I'm going out there, that I want him to basically just walk through that area and make sure there's nobody there so I don't have to worry about it. So I know for a fact that there are not people out there. With that also being said, if he goes out there and there's a new tent popped up but there's nobody in that tent, and I go out there an hour and a half later, did somebody come back? So my belief is I do not believe that that's a human being. That's not people messing with me. If anything, if there was anybody out there, like a homeless person really was out there, they would be so scared to death to come out of that tent after they see the flashlights because they don't know who I am. So I really don't think, I think, maybe homeless people just put it out there and they go out there and maybe they spend during the day, or it's a place for them to seek cover during the day if it's raining or something like that. But there's a whole homeless shelter, a whole homeless camp, about a mile up the road that they can go to that I know they live. So I'm just saying maybe they have that in between, so if it rains or something like that, they're coming to the store, whatever the case might be. But anyways, that's neither here or there. I don't believe that there's people, and people that say that I say too much, I'm sure I'm going to get that in the comments. That doesn't bother me. But with all that being said, I also know that there were descendants of those slaves or people that went out there, and I know that voodoo was practiced out there. Now, what's funny about that place is I've also recently found out that we have crazy people here in Savannah, and as a Christian, I'm not going to sit here and badger somebody and say, well, you worshiping the devil, da 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 da. If that's what you want to do, then that's your right as an American. I'm not going to agree with you worshiping the devil, but I can't, you have rights to do that. With that being said, I know that there were devil worshipers or Satanists, whatever you would like to call them, because I know they exist. I know they're here. I've seen on my, I'm not friends with them by no means, but I have met people that don't worship God. And that's a scary feeling, but that's my opinion. I pray for them. I hope they turn to God, and because I don't want to see them go to that wicked place that they're going to go. But at the same time, you have the right to do voodoo. You have the right to be a Muslim. You have a right to be Catholic. You have a right to be a Christian. You have a right to be an atheist. You have a right to be whatever you want to be. With all that being said, I know that for a fact, for years they would go out there and they would do things like they would try to summon the devil or whatever they do. And I don't know enough about the Satanists to sit here and tell you anything about them, nor do I care what they believe or what they do. But like I said, that's their case in point. That's their thing. That's not for me to judge somebody. You may disagree, and that's fine. You can disagree with me, but I'm going off what, as a Christian, what the Bible tells me. I don't have the right to judge anybody, and if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I'm not down with it. I'm not gonna go hanging out with you or nothing like that. But I'm not gonna be an asshole to. But I believe when you open up things like that, I think that's exactly what they've done. They've opened up something that they didn't understand, whether or not that be in the voodoo sense, or that just be pure, satanic, and the devil came out, as out there. So I know that stuff has gone on, and that's something you really have to dig for, and that's something you really have to make friends in low places or high places, and they have to introduce you to people that experienced it, like the police officer that told me. Now, he's declined to ever go on camera. He doesn't want to talk about this stuff. He said he watches my videos. My friend watches my videos, and most of the time my friend will call me multiple times. Hey man, you going out there? I'll go out there and check it out for you, da da da. So I am relatively safe when I go out there, and I am primarily with my weapon. And with me being with my weapon, I'm understanding, you can't shoot a ghost or a demon. You're right. You're 100% correct. You can't. But that is for my self-defense. That is for my defense of if there is a homeless person that may have slipped past. But I am so past the point of believing that is a human being or anything of this world that it's not even funny. And, like I said, people were asking what was the story behind it, and I'm giving you the story. There's more information I could give you about that place, and you may not ever find anything like this. Like I said, you just have to go through the proper channels, and you have to meet people and have them introduce you to people. But like I was saying before, there was a homeless man that reached out to my friend that was a police officer, and he wanted to go on camera. That kind of fell through because he got himself in order. He got him a really good job, and he just kind of straightened his butt out. I don't think he was very old. I think he was in his 40s. But they got him off the streets, and he no longer lives in Savannah from what I've heard. So I haven't tried to reach out to this man, and that's perfectly fine. I know for a fact that there are other homeless people that have slept out there, and it's just going to take time for me to really find that one serious person that actually lived out there and experienced this. Because I know these people would tell me when I would go out there, and I think I've said this in previous videos, like when I would go and basically run them off or threaten them with arrest, they would be like, man, there's things out here. There's something out here, and it's not an animal. It's not this. It's not of this world. But they would just kind of ignore it because it was a quiet little place, and they were so close to, accessing and getting away, or, But finding these people is very difficult. I can't just go ask and be like, hey, did you ever sleep out in the... I'm not going to ask people that. But hopefully I can meet somebody through this that has lived out there, like that young man that's done very well for himself, and they would come out and they would be like, I've got so many stories, or I have a government phone and I took so many pictures, nobody ever believes me. That would be wonderful. But I do believe that people have went out there and they have done things and they've opened up something that is not okay. In my book, it's not okay. I don't agree with that. That's why you don't see me go out with Ouija boards and things of that nature. Now, if that's what you're into, I'm not against it. I'm not You know, I had my friends from Michigan. They went over there. They took a Ouija board. I'm against that, but then again, that's what they like to do. So I'm not going to sit here and badger how they want to do an investigation, and that's just me. So I really hope that a lot of that actually helped y'all understand more about this place, and also understand that Savannah voodoo is not open and just running rapid through here like it is in New Orleans, where they make a name for it. They keep that stuff to themselves. I met a young lady today. Unfortunately, she got beat up, and her kids got beat up. It was a whole mess at work with that, and she told me point blank, my great grandmother, my grandmother, all have passed down the voodoo stuff to me, and these people don't know what they're going to get. You know, that is around these parts. When you say something like that, you need to take that seriously, because I believe her. I believe that she could open up something. And you know, I don't know a lot about the voodoo. Really don't care to know a lot about it. I mean, it does intrigue me a little bit, but it's not something I would ever practice. So, with that being said, the Native Americans, Sherman's March, hell, probably the dinosaurs. You know, there's just been so much history in just that one location before they started building around it and trying to build on top of it. So it's obviously something evil, but there could be some good there too. There could be something there that they're just kind of irritated that somebody's trying to build over top of them in their final resting spot. I'd be pissed too. So that's a little backstory to that place. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure it's going to be boring to some people, but I hope you like it. I hope that gave you enough information. If you have any more questions or something that I didn't talk about, please let me know, and we can talk about it a little bit further. And the more that I learn about this place, the more I will share with y'all. I'm not going to keep things away from it. You know, it's just like the witch's grave that I found. I was going off very little information, and the more I've, you know, researched it and talked to people, I know so much more about it. There's also a place that I want to go to called the Corpse Manor, really close to where I was born and bred. And there's not much of that place, but y'all can look that up on the internet. It's called the Corpse Manor. It's in Georgia, northwest Georgia. And there's not much standing, but there's a really good story. And I've been there, I've talked to a lot of people that live in the surrounding area. And that would be a great investigation. That would be a great place to maybe go camp out and see what might happen. And that would be a really good place to, you know, carry on some conversations with people that might have known them and known those people. Once you read the story more, you'll know on that place. And I'm hoping that with Voodoo Woods, that as I, you know, start to wrap that up and I start going to other places, then, you know, I can learn more about that place. But as of right now, that's all my information that I have for that place. Definitely check out Corpse Manor. Check that out on the internet. It's got some really good stories to it. And if y'all think that'd be a great place to go, let me know. I can do a full-on investigation, take somebody with me. And I appreciate you guys like always, and I'll see you soon.